Hello, guys and gals, and welcome back to another movie review. Today we're going to discuss The Dark Knight Rises. Rises to the occasion. Rises to punch Bane in the face. Rises to still talk like this. Where is she? So any case, let's discuss this movie. This movie's really long. Well, actually, okay, to be fair, Avengers was long too, so I can't really complain about that because long superhero movies are fucking awesome. So, I mean, I'm cool with that. I don't know if you are, but I'm cool with that. Yeah, so in any case, really cool, third film, to finish off this Nolan trilogy, this realistic Batman, the Dark Knight series. I really, right off the bat, I'll say I really enjoyed the movie a lot. I thought it was really awesome. Had some really exciting scenes. I thought the dialogue once again was written really well. I mean, really, it really was the I would say the perfect way to end the series. Ideally for me, I would always have picked a different villain, but I gotta tell you, man, Tom Hardy fucking home run, man. Is that even? Oh god, that's how you know I don't even play baseball. Yeah, I mean, he really hit it right out of the park as Bane. I thought his I don't know, just everything that he brought to that character was so interesting, because I know Bane is this, Mexican, wrestler type guy who's, super intelligent. He's putting that roid stuff into his body, but this is, I don't know what it is. It's, a different take. It's more of, forgive me for not knowing the country. It's almost like a Middle Eastern country, correct? But he's, British. I don't really know what he was. It was cool, though. And he, I got into a debate with this, about this with some people. He really, to me, he really sounded like Sean Connery to me. And that's only because, as I'm watching him, I really thought he was going to be like, you are the, wow, fail, let's do that again. You are the Highlander, some shit like that. I don't know. That was another fail. But in any case, I don't know, just the way he was talking, he was like, power, do you understand? It's I kept hearing Sean Connery. I'm sorry if you didn't hear that or whatever, but that's just what I heard. I don't know, there was something about it, but I really digged it, it was this really menacing voice, and he's grabbing that one guy, and he's just talking all calmly, and then he fucking grapple locks him with one hand, just kills him. I was like, damn! So, that was pretty cool. Everybody brought their own thing, You have Christian Bale, who plays an amazing Bruce Wayne. I don't think anybody could really argue that at this point. Anne Hathaway, kicks ass as Selena Kyle, aka Catwoman. Just everybody. The guy who plays Alfred, Morgan Freeman. So everybody played their parts really well. They cast these movies great. Gary Oldman. I'm just remembering things. Oh, and I really like the addition of this John Blake detective character that's played by, see, I always forget his name. That's depressing right there that I forgot this guy's name. What's his name? Jonathan something. Oh, well. Anyways, kudos to him. He was dope. Yeah, I mean, it was just you know what it is? I'm usually more, everybody always associates me more with the Marvel flicks, and that's honestly a given, but I love, Batman, I love, some of the DC guys, and to me, it's so interesting to go into this theater and sit down and see the parallels between The Dark Knight Rises and the Avengers, and it's just completely two different sides of the spectrum. With Avengers, you have all the zaniness of the comic books, and then with the other, Dark Knight Rises, you have the realism and the dark and grittiness, and it's really it's like a breath of fresh air to see different things like that portrayed. And for me, I really liked how the 3 hours really almost, how do I put this, almost strung together so much drama and so much emotion that you were okay, for real, I don't know what's gonna happen now. And that's the thing that most movies are missing. Not even superhero movies, just when you're doing something dramatic or something serious, you don't feel that churn in your stomach, the butterflies, if you will. You don't feel that. And I think that was something that Nolan is like a fucking master at capturing. If there is anything to compliment, if you hate that guy, so be it. I respect your opinion, but that is the one thing that Nolan fucking does right, is he knows how to fucking toy with your emotions and just yank it out, like your heart out of your chest, and you'd be dead, but you understand what I'm trying to say. So, a couple of things that I want to put out there. So, the whole story is kind of like, Batman kind of is done ever since Rachel died or some shit, and he's all traumatized by that, and there's a whole thing with that going on, and then Bane's kind of doing his own shit backstage, and then somehow fucking Catwoman's involved somehow, and robs Bruce, and derp, all this shit. Here's the thing, okay? I understand this is a long movie, and you could tell right away when you sit down and you watch the film that there are things that were cut. They are just givens at this point, but I really honestly, like, I'm being, like, completely legit with this when I say that they should have at least devoted 2 or 3 minutes to explain Catwoman's story a little better. I feel like she deserved it as an actress because she's that good. I feel like the character is that intriguing to fans, and more importantly, I want my brother thought it was Harley Quinn, guys, like an hour and a half into the film or something. Didn't even know what was going on. So, I mean, like, honestly, like, Bruce's computer did not explain that to an extent for should I say, a casual fan. So, I mean, honestly, I feel like they should have explained that a little more. That's all I'm saying. I understand Bane got more of the spotlight because he's the villain, or whatever, but, it's just how it is. I feel like they should have done that if they're going to implement Catwoman in such a way. So, in any case, I think actually she really, like, did a really superb job with that role as well. I feel like she really brought something different to the character, but she also kept sort of that, what was it, Michelle Pfeiffer kind of style. There's something to her tone, or, she's always holding her hips, and she's talking with that little, like that little slur kind of style. I dig that. That was really cool. For those wondering, Batman's voice in this movie, even though he still does this, it sounds much more distinguishable. It's much more understandable. I think that they must have heard something. And Bane's voice is also much clearer now, because when they were first previewing the movie, there were a lot of issues with that at hand, that they couldn't understand what he was saying. So I think a lot of those worries are thrown out the window now, so you should be okay if you go and see this. Like I said, there was so much going on. Bane is just trying to take over all of Gotham, and then I guess essentially take over everything else, and really just bring down Bruce's empire and everything. And I think that's really interesting. Is how they bring how basically Bruce has to fight his way back as Batman because he's been out of the game for so long, and then not only to come back and go through all this crap, but then to come back yet again and become even stronger than he was before. And I think really metaphorically, the Rises title really does shine in this movie. It's a great movie. I think it's fucking rad. And the fighting scenes in this movie are a lot better too, in my opinion. As you can see, I'm wearing a Joker shirt. I think I have a Batman shirt. I don't know where the fuck it is though. But in any case, I really, like, to be honest, I like this movie a lot more than The Dark Knight. With all due respect to Mr. Ledger here, because his portrayal of the Joker was orgasmic. I mean, there's no other way to say it. But, I felt like everything was a lot more centered in this. There was a lot more drama. The fighting was just, so good. The only thing I would have asked for, and this is just me being down and honest, Bruce needs to throw more kicks, okay? He knows all these different, like, this one style of fighting. I don't, whatever. I don't know why he didn't throw a kick. Like, they turned him into, like, a brawler in this movie, which is cool. Don't get me wrong, but, come on. I mean, he's Batman. He's got to do all kinds of different things, So I would have wanted a little more of that. Maybe a little more gadgetry. But, that's kind of like what my complaint was for The Dark Knight for Joker, was I felt like even though he's not capable of fighting, he is capable of fighting. Does that make sense? Like, he's got all the gadgets and the toys and, like, the jack-in-boxes and the gases. Like, I wanted more of that in the sequel. So, yeah, again, I feel like I feel like when Nolan does these fights, he tries to purposely kind of PG Batman, and I understand that, but at the same time, the Dark Knight atmosphere that he's going with clashes, and I feel like there's not enough of what Batman or any of the bad guys can actually attempt to do. So, yeah, like, that's always my biggest complaint with these movies. It's not that I'm not satisfied, it's that I know that they're capable of more. And if the cut of the movie is so damn big, you know, it's like, come on. So, yeah, anyways, the other thing is there's a really nice twist in this movie that I'm not gonna say. And it's kind of a given, but it's not at the same time. And this is what, you know, goes in hand with the toying of your emotions. You're really not thinking about any of that stuff. So, like, throughout the movie, there's so much, you know, stuff hitting you that it's overwhelming, and then it's like, oh, fuck, at the end, you know what's going on. Yeah, it's pretty solid. And anybody that was, you know, wondering about, what's his name? God, I keep forgetting this guy's name. Joseph, is it Jonathan? No, Joseph Gordon-Levitt. Oh, God, fuck it, you whatever. You sat through this. You had this coming. If all of you were wondering, like, you know, like, what he was gonna do in that movie, you know, he really played his part, and, you know, everything that you may think might happen, well, let's say it could happen. Let's say that. I'm not gonna say anything else. And, you know, that's it, you know. My gripes with the movie are, I feel like they cut in some weird areas. I feel like they should have explained a couple of things a little better if they're going to be realistic. And other than that, I mean, I thought the movie was fucking awesome. Go see it. And if you don't want to see it, well, I don't know what to tell you. I'm sorry. Again, it's another solid superhero flick. Come on, folks. Get with the times. Anyways, that is it. I hope you enjoyed this really messy, strange review. And, as always, stay after, and I'm going to spoil some shit. Because that's what I do. So, yeah. Stop watching now. Batman! He's a man. But most importantly, he's rich as hell. And he paid Morgan Freeman to make him a suit. And a battle tank. And a helicopter. Shit, man. Morgan Freeman. Wow. Anyways, we're back. Let's spoil some stuff. So, there's this really beautiful, gorgeous, sexy-ass chick in this movie that's got these, like, European accent, and she talks a little bit like this, spaghetti sauce and meatballs. I was like, oh. And she's in the movie, and she's trying to get Bruce to, like, buy into this clean, and, like, basically like a pure energy, contraption, if you will, to, you know, solve the crisis and all that shit. And during the movie, you know, Bane takes over, brings Batman to another country, which he gets thrown into, like, this pit that he's stuck in, and finds out about Bane's origin, being raised, and climbing up this giant... The big thing in it is climbing up this wall to get, you know, and nobody's ever done it except Bane. And the whole twist is that this sexy girl that sleeps with Bruce in the movie when Bruce loses everything turns out to be the bad guy and be Ra's al Ghul's daughter. And even though she, like, never knew him, she wanted to get revenge for him and blow up the town, the city. See, like, this is the thing this is kind of like where my gripe is like, there's things that kind of clash a little, just a little bit. And then apparently Bane is, like, working for her, and Bane was the one that protected her, and she was really the one that climbed the wall, and Bane got so fucked up, and derp, you know, all this stuff happened to him, and they loaded him up with morphine, which they did not explain, okay? Like, I know in the comic books he's got the fucking mask on, he's got, like, the fucking tubes and shit, he's like, "Rah!" Listen, if he's got a fucking mask on, you know, don't just make it seem like it's an oxygen mask. He was pumping morphine. There's actually even a reference to it in the movie about how he doesn't feel any pain anymore because they couldn't operate correctly on him in the pit. So they loaded him up with morphine. I don't know where they got morphine from, but yeah. So they should have explained that a little more. That's all I'm saying. And, you know, the Catwoman thing and the Ra's al Ghul thing, you know, the motives for the daughter was a little but whatever. yeah, so there was a whole twist with that. That was pretty fucking wild, actually, because they show a scar on her back for like 2 seconds and then it goes off, and you're like, what the fuck? And at the end, you're like, fuck you, bitch. Just being honest. And it's like, it's like, what the fuck? So then Bane's like, I'm gonna fucking kill you, Batman. And she stabs Batman. She's like, fuck you. I betrayed you, you motherfucker. And I slept with you. It's like, oh, fuck. And then Catwoman comes out of nowhere with the vehicle and shoots Bane. And I thought that was funny and cool, because I'm like, is anybody gonna shoot Bane? Because they could just shoot him and kill him in one shot. And, like, she does it. And everyone was a little pissed about that. I read it on the interwebs. It was like, why did Catwoman kill Bane? Well, you know what? It kind of makes sense, because Catwoman was kind of under pressure from him the whole time. And I just thought it was kind of like poetic justice or something. Granted, I would have liked to have seen Bruce finish him, but it doesn't matter. Because Bruce, got out of the pit. It was like, fuck! I'm gonna rip your dick off! And it's like, oh, fuck! And Bane's like, you're back? No way! It's like, yeah, well, you threw me in a fucking pit that didn't have any guards, so, it's a random country, and it completely skipped over into Gotham, and it's like, how did he get back into Gotham? There are things that they kind of, God, they didn't explain super well, but it's funny how that kind of works. And somebody actually on the interwebs wrote that, like, if the federal the federal cops would have been all over that, but I think then they kill that one guy who's like, I'm here, I'm gonna save you, and Bane shoots him in like 5 minutes. Again, Gotham City is like, I don't know, man, why does anybody even want to live there at this point? So yeah, there were some, it was a nice twist. Oh, and John Blake, Joseph Gordon-Levitt, that we all thought was gonna play this guy, totally. There's a part where Bruce is like, I got you a suit. I want you to go and find it. Oh. And it's like, what does it mean? And by the end of it, it seems like Bruce takes the energy bomb. I know this is all scattered. Takes the energy bomb, flies off into the sunset. But the whole time they're talking about an autopilot and how, like, the autopilot doesn't work. So apparently they fixed the autopilot but didn't talk about that. And it kind of, like, led it to believe that, like, Bruce died or some shit. Again, come on. That part they should have explained. Just like. But anyways, so at the end, it's like, Joseph Gordon-Levitt, like, finds the cave, and he's like, ah! He gets up on this platform, and, like, it rises up, and you're like, motherfuckers, that's Robin! Because, like, some lady in the desk before that scene's like, oh, you should have kept your name Robin. Da-da-da. So they made up, like, their own iteration of Robin, which actually is kind of cool. Jean Blake. So in any case, yeah, that's kind of it. A lot of spoilers, a lot of random stuff. Yeah, I hope you enjoyed this review altogether. I really do. It was fun. In any case, I will see you guys soon, and have a good one. Peace!